tutorial shows you how to use a simple Python package to analyze the last names in your family tree. If you're a beginner programmer, that's fine. I'll be taking you through the simple but powerful code that identifies the most common surnames in your family history and transforms your tree into informative frequency charts. First step is to export your family tree into a file stored on your local computer. This file is known as a gedcom file. All the major online family tree websites have an option to export to gedcom. The exception is Family Search. If you need instructions on how to do it, I'll put a link in the description to a video on my channel that walks you through it. All the desktop software applications that manage family trees have an option to export to gedcom. The next step is to find a place to run your Python code. This video uses the free online Google platform, Google Colab, to run our Python code. So let's get you started on Google Colab. Google Colab, so it's colab.google. If you're logged into a Google account, you don't have to sign in again or sign up. Go straight to New Notebook, either here or up here. I'm going to click it here. If I wasn't logged into a Google account and I click New Notebook, it would give me the login screen. Notebook is where you put your code. This box here is called a cell. We can put our code into the box and we can click the run command. I'm going to print hello world and then I click the run button. It connected to the Python engine running on the Google servers and it has printed hello world. So now I've run the basic hello world. I'm going to get rid of this cell. I'll click the delete cell button over here. And now I don't have anywhere to put any code. So I'm going to give myself a new cell with the plus code button here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to upload our gedcom file so we can use code to analyze the names inside it. Now, the thing to remember is that when you open up a notebook and then you stop using it and disconnect, your files go away. The files that you've uploaded, they just disappear. So how do we upload a file? This folder here, files, expand that. You may need to wait 20 seconds for the engine to start up, but you will see this sample folder. And I'm just going to expand that folder, sample data, and it gives us these sample CSV files. I am going to upload my gedcom file into this sample data folder. So I'm hovering on the line sample data and I get this ellipsis, these three dots. Click three dots and click upload and then go find your file on your local machine. I'll click open and here's where it's telling us that it will eventually be deleted when you stop using the platform, when you close the browser. So click OK and this is where it has loaded the file. So now we're going to install and use this really simple package of code that I've put together for you. And this package, it's available on the official directory of Python packages, where there are also instructions and there's basically a script that you can copy. Just copy and paste and it'll do the magic. I've put a link in the description below to the package. Here I'll just go to pypi.org and I'll search for it. So the name of the package is simple-gedcom. Search for that and here it is at the top. As you can see, there are other gedcom parsers, but they're a little complex to use. I put together this one to be really simple. So simple-gedcom, click into that and there's this quick start for instructions which we will use. But first of all, we need to install it in Google Colab. And the nice thing about the publishing page for the package is that it gives you the command to do so. Here, you might see, by the way, a different version number here. Don't worry about that. Whatever is the latest version is here. I'm going to copy this statement to clipboard. Then I'm going to toggle back over to Google Colab. Now the command we've copied, the pip install command, is not Python code. So before I paste it in here, I'm going to put in an exclamation mark. That tells the notebook that this is a special command. Then I'll Control V, and there is my pasted command, pip install simple-gedcom, and then I will hit the run button and let it run. So it's downloading it, it's installing it, and it has successfully installed the package. So now I've installed it, what do I do with it? Let's go back over to the publisher page. I'm going to scroll down to this quick start where it tells me how to use it. And it gives me a few lines here. So I don't need all of this. This is sample code and I just want some of it to copy. I definitely need these top 3 lines. And then I'm going to cherry pick the code that I want a little bit further down. So first things first, let me just grab these top 3 lines, Control C, and bring that over to Google Colab. And once again, I don't have a cell to write into, so I'll give myself one by hitting plus code, and I will paste these 3 lines. So these 3 lines, what are they doing? The first line is just a comment, read a gedcom file and write list CSV files. Well, we could do that, but we're not going to. We're going to read a gedcom file and run surname analysis. So just change that comment there. The next line is the line that uses the package. For this package, it imports this function load gedcom, which is kind of the heart of the package, in that it is a function that accepts full path to a family tree and puts the contents of the family tree in the gedcom file into an object which I've called gedcom. Now before we run this, we have to change this path because my gedcom file isn't called tree.ged, it's called familytree.ged, and it isn't in a folder called data. So I'm just going to delete that string, leaving the punctuation marks, and I need to put the full path of this file over here into here. And Google Colab gives you a nice shortcut for that. Just hover over the file, familytree.ged or whatever your file is, click the ellipsis, click copy path, puts the full path into your clipboard, go into punctuation marks, Control V, and there I have the full path to the gedcom file. And now I can run this code. And it's not going to be very exciting, but it shouldn't give you an error. Gives you an error, can't find the file, then you've mistyped in some way the path to your family tree. No error, so that's good. So what do we do next? Well, I'm going to go back into the publisher page and grab some more code. I'm going to come down to this area here where it says use pandas to display lists. I'm going to grab this code. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of code here. I'll Control C for those 5 lines of code. Back into Google Colab, I'll give myself a new cell and I'll Control V. So first line is a comment. I'm importing the pandas package, which gives us a lot of display and statistics functionality. And then I get into the interesting stuff. So I'm using the gedcom object and I'm running a function. And that function, I'll just give it a new line here, that function is getPersonList. What that function does is it retrieves a list of every single person in the gedcom file in your family tree with the basic details. You'll see when we show it, but it's first name, last name, birth details, death details, and some other useful details, and sticks it into a list. Now, a list doesn't display very nicely. We're going to use pandas to convert that list. I'm using the pandas object here to convert my list into a data frame, which is something that will display very nicely. And I'm assigning that data frame to this object here, which is df for data frame underscore person list. And then I'm going to print or display the top 5 rows in the data frame. So I'm going to hit run. This is the output. But you might be thinking, I promised you a nice display, and that isn't a very nice display. I am going to give myself a new cell plus code, and instead of using that print statement, I'm going to use the display function. So display df person list. This time I'm not using the .head function, which is the top 5. I'll just use the full object, hit run, and that's a much nicer display. So what have we got here? We have the first name, last name, birth date, birthplace, death date, death place. You may be also thinking, well, that's can't be everybody, and it's not. It's telling me I have 534 rows and 13 columns, but you notice this ellipsis here. The display is truncated. It skips from 4 to 539. So I want to display all rows but I can't remember the command to do so. So I'll ask Google's AI, which is Gemini. I'll click this blue circle here, and I get this input box here, For you, it might appear over on the right. I'll just type in my question here. I am using a pandas data frame. I want to display all rows. It's working on it. Okay, it's put the code up here. It's done another import of the pandas, which isn't really necessary. It's accept and run. And just get rid of that, and it is now not truncating anything. It is showing all rows. So now we're going to do some name analytics. I want to see the frequency of last names in my tree. I'm going to give myself a new code cell, and I am going to ask Gemini to help me with the code. So straight away, it's actually telling me that it can analyze the distribution of surnames. So I'm going to go with that. If you don't see that particular option, you can type something like, I want to see the frequency of last names in my tree. I will simply copy this, paste it here, and I'll say, analyze the distribution of surnames. Hit run. So here's the code. Looks about right. I will accept and run. Just counting how many times each surname appears. And many of them appear once. So I scroll up. So these are ordered from top to bottom. And as I scroll down, I can see, so pull up Gemini, I'm now vibe coding. I want to filter out these surnames. I'm going to just open a quote and I'm Control V where I copied the underscores. And I'm going to say blank. It's not really blank. It's an empty string, but I think it'll know what I mean. I hit run on that. So this is what it's given me. You can see it's looking for rows in the person list where the last name is in those underscores and empty. So hang on a minute. Why is it getting those ones? I actually want to remove them. We'll see that little squiggle there. That's the negative. So it's saying take them out. So I'll accept and run. So now that's actually given me the full person list or a copy of the full person list filtered without those names. And I do want to analyze the surname distribution again. Just click run on that. Accept and run. Just get rid of this. Yeah, the underscores are gone because there was 3 occurrences and the blanks are gone. So this display useful, but I would like to visualize this. How do I want to visualize it? It's suggesting a bar chart. I could tell it I want a pie chart or a line chart. I do think that the bar chart is the best format. So I will say to it, visualize with and I want a horizontal bar chart. And I also want to order it from high to low. Let's click run. So it's using a plotting package for the visualization piece. I'll hit accept and run. Okay. So that is much easier to work with, except for all these tiny little names down here. In other words, the names that have 1 or 2 people. So I want to not show anything below. I'll have a cutoff point of 10. So and to only show surnames at a count of 10 or above. So it's showing me here what it's going to change. So I'll accept that and run it. And straight away, that is a nicer display. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, maybe I want to see a bit more than that. Let me think. Tell me how many distinct surnames are in my data frame. 133. Okay, so I want to see the top 20. Give me the bar chart, but showing the top 20 surnames. I'll hit accept and run. That is a really nice chart. There's another piece of information that I'd like on this bar chart. I'd like to see what percentage each name is of all the names in the family tree. So I want to add a column to the data frame with the percentage. So I'm going to give myself just a new cell and I'll ask the AI to do the calculation for me. So I'll toggle Gemini. Just decided to put it over here for some reason. I don't like it over there. Just makes this middle pane far too small. So I will move tab to previous pane. I will ask it add a column to surname counts filtered, which has the percentage of the name based on a count of all names. I'll let it choose the name of the column. Click run on that. So it's giving me a new data frame. I don't want a new data frame. I want the column in surname counts filtered. Accept and run. We'll see what we get. So I'm going to scroll up and see these tiny ones are small percentages right up to O'Gorman, which is over 9%. And you can see there's a lot of decimal places there, which I don't really need. I'll fix that when I display the bar chart. So I want the percentage to one decimal place, I think, at the end of each chart in the bar chart. Give me the bar chart with a percentage at the end of each bar. Show to one decimal place. Okay, accept and run. And here we go. Next thing I want to do is top 20 most frequent surnames. I want to change that title. Top 20 last names in Smith family tree. Accept and run. You can see that has changed the title. The last thing I want to do is I want to save this to my local machine. Now, when I disconnect, I'm not going to have this available to me. I could always run the code again, of course, but I want that saved as an image. So the first thing I need to do to save it, you can't save directly to your local machine. I have to save it to an area available to Google Colab. And the area where I uploaded the family tree is perfect. I want to save the chart as an image too. Now where I need to give it a path, what I'll do is I'll copy the path of the family tree and then I'll amend it. So I don't want to save it to that. I want to save it to familytree.png. PNG is an image. That is now going to appear over here. So let me ask Gemini for the code. So it says it's going to add a line to the code, and that is the line there. Let me accept and run that. Just watch over here. Did you see? Suddenly it appeared familytree.png. I'm now going to download this by hovering over the file, clicking the ellipsis and clicking download, and that comes down to my downloads folder. Open my downloads folder. There is familytree.png.ping. I will double click it. Family tree with my chosen name. I can put that into a document. So use Gemini to give you the code to alter the display. If you want different colors, if you wanted a vertical bar chart, different X, Y axis titles, Gemini will show you the code, just hit accept and run, and I usually find that it is correct. Some vibe coding for surname analysis. Now on the other hand, it's kind of fun to learn Python or get better with Python when you're working on your own family tree. I do have a course that isn't about vibe coding. It doesn't use AI, any kind of code generator at all. It actually works through writing the Python code step by step. I'll put a link in the description below. The first 2 modules are free.